Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. So this reading is going to be about Meek Mill because he's just been acting all kinds of like what the heck, even more than normal lately. And so he can't keep Nicki's name out of his mouth, and he's been flipping out on academics, so people want to know like what the heck is going on with him. Also, you know, I kept feeling like there is something that's like deeper going on with him, so I've been curious about this as well, and now Spirit just told me to go ahead and pull on it. We're actually probably going to start by looking at his relationship with Nicki and seeing like what happened there, because I feel like that will lead us to why is he still always so stuck on this, you know. So we'll go ahead and get started in a second. Now, just to let you guys know, because on the Tupac reading, I had mentioned doing a reading for Kanye, and I know everybody was really like looking forward to that. In that reading, Kanye's mom came through, and she started getting very upset because this next year is going to be very hard for Kanye, and she was so incredibly emotional that I was really incredibly emotional, to the point that I couldn't even speak and get things out correctly. And so after the video was done, I went to upload it because she did ask for prayers for Kanye to forgive himself and listen to her, because she has been trying to communicate with him and get messages to him. So I'm repeating that. So if you do feel inclined to send a prayer to Kanye for that you will do so. But she actually kept blocking it and freezing my YouTube so that it wouldn't upload anything, so that I wouldn't upload that video. And once I understood why, you know, because she actually wants me to do a mediumship reading with her and share her point of view, and she wants to be able to communicate more than what she did the other night, because we both got emotional. So we're probably going to do a separate tarot reading just for Kanye, and then a separate mediumship reading with his mom. But I am waiting for her spirit to come back and let me know that she is ready to speak. I do feel that will be soon. It may be as soon as tonight. It may not happen for a few days, but it will be uploaded, you know, within a few days. I know that, because she definitely doesn't want to wait too long. So that's the update with the Kanye reading and why it hasn't been posted and what happened to it. Because like I said, I did a whole reading. It was a whole 40-minute video, and it just, because the first part of it was me actually just pulling on Kanye, and his mom chose to come in and speak on her own. So we will go ahead and do, you know, a different one coming up. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at Meek Mill, and I wanted to ask first, you know, about what happened in his relationship with Nicki Minaj, and then how does he feel about her, because like I said, I feel like that's a good starting point, because I feel like there's something about that relationship too, and what happened in it or after, that is maybe part of the reason why Meek is being so the way he is now, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in. Spirit, please join us and answer any questions that we have in regards to the rapper Meek Mill. We want to start by focusing on his relationship in the past with Nicki Minaj. They were involved in a romantic relationship. We're asking, how was that relationship and what was the demise of that relationship? Thank you, Spirit, for joining us and answering any questions that we have on the rapper Meek Mill. Why is he doing the way he is right now? Is it because of Nicki Minaj? Is there something deeper going on with this man? Is this a psychological break? What the heck is going on with Meek Mill? Thank you, Spirit, for joining us and answering any questions we ask, only with the intention of supporting your sharing, not with any intent. We ask that you bless me, Konika, Rick Ross, anybody else who might come up in this video, all who watch the video. Spirit, for joining us, protecting us, and answering everything about me. really want to know about is, what was the relationship between Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill truly like? Spirit, please answer. What was the relationship between Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj? Oh, if y'all could see the calluses that have been building up on my little thumbs from all the tarot card shuffling I be doing in these readings, on top of doing my own private readings too. It's like, I used my cards before, but I just used them so incredibly much more that I didn't realize that. I was like, oh my gosh, should I start wearing some kind of gloves, and would I even be able to still shuffle if I did? Because yesterday I was like, why is my thumb hurt right here? And I looked and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting calluses. But it's worth it because we're nosy. And this is all alleged and in the interest of being nosy. Okay, so I just knocked over my other deck. That's great. So the bottom of the deck energy is this Knight of Swords, King of Wands, and Five of Coins. So Meek still like is resentful of Nicki because it's talking about trying to get back together with her after things had ended, and her being basically like really dismissive towards him about it. At least this is, you know, and keep in mind guys, this is talking about Meek's perspective of how their relationship was, because even though I asked Spirit, it showed up in Meek's energy, because here he is as this King of Cups with this Two of Coins and this Lover's card. He still looks back and like wonders like, should I have done this or should I have done that, and we still would have been together. Like, he literally thinks that with the Nine of Wands and the Palace of Cups, the relationship to him with Nicki was like the best relationship that he ever had. Like, she will forever be the one who got away. But at times, because like, it's like, how did he operate with this in this relationship? He's very much this Page of Coins energy, where you're dating Nicki Minaj. You need to be the King of Coins. You can't be, I mean, you're not even the Knight of Coins. Like, it's like the Page, the Knight, the King. Like, you're all the way down here, which we know we talked about in, you know, the Nicki readings, that Nicki does have a tendency to sort of date these men who are not on her level. But then it's like, you're Nicki Minaj, you know, what are you gonna do? Steal Jay-Z from Beyonce because date Lil Wayne? Like, he's kind of crazy too, you know? It's like, who really is on Nicki Minaj's level? She's Nicki freaking Minaj. So Meek was very well aware of that. Sorry guys, I was trying to grab those cards I knocked down because I'm gonna need this deck for the rest of this reading. But it's like, you know, he had a tendency with this Chariot and this Six of Wands, because he felt like he was beneath her, to get too much into his ego instead of just trying to center himself as a man. So it's like, at times, like, he was huffing and puffing a little bit too much, trying to act like, oh yeah, like, it's cool, it's cool. And so some of this translated into very immature energy, where it's like, instead of just like, yeah, I'm good too, it's like, oh, well, I gotta shit on what you did and then be like, nah, I'm better, you know? So that way, like, I'm the big man, I'm this, I'm that, instead of like, if you're a King of Coins, like, you don't really give a shit, because you're like, okay, even if you do have something I don't have, I know that I'm good and I'm gonna get there. And that, like, being so much into that ego and taking those little digs at her, because the Seven of Cups is talking about somebody who is, you know, not only constantly being dishonest and presenting themselves in a way that they aren't, because this is like false promise energy, you know. It's also that it's like you're trying to bring this person down so that you can make yourself seem like you are just like something else, right? Did he cheat on her? Because I feel like this ego thing led him to go cheat on her. Because Six of Cups is also about not being faithful, as well as this Three of Swords. And because there was, right after that whole energy of, I'm not being honest, I'm being really into my ego, I'm trying to kind of like take you down. There's this Hangman, this Ten of Swords, the Wheel card, Three of Swords, and this Six of Cups, where it's like it just got caught up so much that he went searching for outside attention to boost his self-esteem. But obviously that backfired on you, because you lost your relationship behind it when the truth came out about your shady, deceptive things involving other people. And so now your relationship that's supposed to be this upright Palace of Wands turns into this upside down in reverse, because nothing is working, because you've fallen apart. So when he's trying to win her back, she's like, I can't trust you. And Meek, you know, honestly, you just need to get over it and forgive yourself, because I really think that Nicki's past it. So it's like, you didn't even just do one bad thing to this girl. You did all of this bad shit to her, and then you're mad at her because it affected your ego. Like, come on, Meek. That's some real fuckboy energy right there, if I've ever seen it. Dear God, and we call Safari the corny one. So, let's see. Like, this is the thing about Meek to me. I've never been able to handle listening to his music. That freaking screaming, I'm like, Meek, can you please stand in the same room as the microphone, or realize that the microphone's in the same room as you? Because, like, it literally seems to me like he thinks that, like, the microphone's in this room where I'm sitting, but, like, he's in my kitchen when they're telling him to go ahead and rap. And it's like, you're in the same room as the microphone. Like, you can quiet down, Meek. I'm Italian. If I think you're loud, you're loud. You're way too fucking loud if an Italian person tells you you're too loud. But, I mean, it's just like, I didn't really feel one way about him either way. It's just then he started becoming Twitter fingers Meek, and he has this weird obsession with Onika. Like, it's just like every chance he can get. And it's like, dude, did you guys break up like 4 years ago? Like, she has a whole entire husband and baby. Like, stop talking about her. You just look pressed. So, Spirit, how does Meek feel about Nicki now? Spirit, what is Meek's perception of Nicki Minaj now? And then we're going to flip this and ask about Nicki's side of things. Like, how did she perceive the relationship? What was her side of it, you know? And how does she feel about him right now? Did you guys see there's like some younger rapper, I can't remember what his name is right now, but I had reposted it, that those same kids that were selling waters that Meek gave like $20 to 10 of them to split, like this guy came and picked them up and took them to the store and like bought them clothes and like was like encouraging them and everything. Like, it was so nice. And I reposted it and I said, Meek Mill, take notes. So I was like just thinking right now, I wonder if Meek saw that and blocked me. I was kind of half expecting him to cuss me out, because it seems like Meek just, like, somebody else would not see that, but Meek somehow would, and would like not hesitate to come like light my ass up. That would be really funny. He thinks, you guys, and this is, again, this is Meek's perspective. You know, there's the Devil card, the 10 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. He is so sure that Kenneth is going to cheat on Nicki, or that he already is, and that Nicki rushed into this relationship to prove something. Because there's this 8 of Coins and this Ace of Swords. Meek really has himself convinced that Nicki married Kenneth with the intention of protecting herself, sending messages to people, and also because, like, it's so dumb, but somehow it's like, oh, like, her bag was getting low and getting married to Kenneth Petty, of all people, was somehow gonna make that better for her. I'm like, really? Because most of us were looking at it thinking, like, holy fuck, is Nicki gonna lose everything marrying some guy that people are obviously not gonna be happy about her being with? And Meek's looking at it as like this was some financial come up for her. Is it crack, Meek? Really? What drug are you on? The more I dig into this man, I'm like, what is wrong with you? And, you know, it's because she wouldn't be with him. You know, it's like, no, I'm not going to give you any more of my love. I'm taking that away from you. And she obviously made the decision to do what she felt was right for her. And we're not saying it is or isn't. You know, I'm just saying for her, she felt like it was best for her to not only move on from Meek, but to keep her life moving on and moving forwards, and just naturally finding herself in a relationship with somebody else the way that people do, you know, when they've moved on from a breakup. Meek is so happy thinking that Nicki is gonna, like, get so hurt in this relationship, because he's so like, if I can't have you, then I want your life, like, ruined kind of thing. He's Page of Cups and Palace of Coins. It's like he hasn't let go of this relationship. Also, you guys, I think, like, maybe his money or his opportunities to make money were, like, at their highest and being with Nicki, and because he's not getting the same sense, it's easy for him to get mad too. Because at this point, it's like jealous female energy. You know, oh, you're making money and I'm not. You bitch, I hope your husband cheats on you and leaves you and takes everything, because that's what you deserve. And it's like, are you a jealous ass, like, ex-girlfriend of hers, or are you her ex-boyfriend? Because it's kind of confusing the way that you're really, and yeah, High Priestess and Judgment. Jealousy, because this woman moved on with her life and her heart belongs to somebody else, and it's not, she left you and she's not coming back no matter how hard you fight, Meek. Nicki packed up her swords and left this energy behind, like, and you know that, and it's burning your ass. You know, the thing is, when you go into, and this honestly, I understand why Spirit told me to go ahead and do this reading today. Because every relationship is that you get into, because you are now vulnerable by being emotionally connected to somebody, is going to trigger your insecurities. So if you are not secure with who you are as a man, you should not date a woman who's very secure of who she is as a woman, because that is only going to drive you to have so many ego trips and just trigger the F out of your shadow side. And that's what that's what Meek did. He got so caught up into his ego that even that relationship ending didn't take him out of that. Instead, it just inflamed and bruised that ego even more, because now it's like you're so stuck in the ego and she's not feeding it by coming back to you, that now it's like, you bruise my ego and I have a vengeance against you. And see, it's 3 of Coins, 10 of Coins, Faith card, 2 of Cups, and this Knight of Wands. It's this vengeance of, you didn't end up with me even though I tried so hard. Like, he literally thought at first that at some point him and Nicki were going to get back together. And now that they haven't, and he sees that she completely just walked away and moved on, there is this like vengeful energy of, I don't want you to do well because you didn't do well with me. You didn't stay to do well with me, so fuck you trying to go do good with somebody else. It's like that kind of thing. Jesus Christ, Meek, you act like you guys had a fucking baby together and you're a baby mama. How dare you move on with somebody else? Yeah, I had a baby for you. Like, that's what it feels like. You guys, like I said, I thought he was silly, but I didn't imagine to pick up like this, like much of a crazy petty energy off of this man. And I guarantee you, and I'm sure it'll come up in the cards, that's his whole thing with academics. Because academics is like, I don't care that you're Meek Mills. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I think you're doing something stupid, I'm going to say something. If I think your music sucks, I'm going to say so. Like, because academics, he's a piece of shit. But at the end of the day, like, if he don't like something, he don't like something. Like, he's not going to fake the funk. So that's Meek's problem, you know? I mean, look at how academics treated Selena Powell, and she was in love with him and kept going back to it. Like, you know, he's not nice to anybody, and he doesn't care to be nice to anybody, and that's his whole thing. And it's like, Meek, you're not gonna, like, bully this man into liking you. And again, that's such an ego trip thing. You don't like me, so I'm gonna try to force you to like me by bullying you into it? Like, come on, Meek. Like, who the hell wants fake love? Like, you need therapy. If you're, like, literally fighting people to give you fake love, Meek Mills, you really need therapy. You need some fucking help. Because anybody else in their life would be walking away from that shit and understanding that they don't want that. What happened from Nicki Minaj's perspective when it came to the relationship that she was in with Meek Mill? What was her perception of things? How does she see it as it progressed and ended? Thank you, Spirit. And this, you guys, will do a reading separately on Milano if you guys have a bunch of questions on that. I don't really know if anybody does, because even when I kept talking about doing a reading on Meek, nobody asked about her. So I was kind of like, I don't know if you guys care, but I'm like, we're 22 minutes into it, so I don't want to, you know, make this an hour just about Meek, because it's like, he's really not that fucking important. Again, you guys, and I'm not being biased or hating on him or anything. I'm just saying, like, really at the end of the day, like, how important is Meek Mills to anything? Not really. And he only has himself to blame for that. Because the thing is, it's just like Young Thug trying to say that, like, he deserves to do a versus battle against Lil Wayne. I'm like, first of all, I can't even think off the top of my head without, like, I would have to Google to tell you one song that, like, Young Thug is even on, much less any of his own. I know that man because of his antics of wearing wedding dresses and sucking on rifles, and that made me never even want to go listen to his music, no matter how good it may or may not be. But Lil Wayne, I knew him for his music before anything else, and I can rattle off the top of my head dozens of his songs and songs he's been on. And it's like the same thing for Meek. You get yourself caught up in these antics, and that's all you get yourself known for. People are not gonna, like, just suddenly turn around and be like, oh, we're gonna take Meek's music seriously, though. Like, no. Like, just shut up and focus on what you need to focus on, and let people move on with their lives and move on with your life. So Nicki actually went into this relationship as the Queen of Cups with the World and the Knight of Cups and the Lover's card. Like, she literally went into this relationship very open, hopeful. She actually thought maybe, you know, this is the person that I'm supposed to be with. And since we have this, like, white knight energy, you know, it's about I was so let down by Safari, and Meek did present himself as this, like, you know, white knight coming to save Nicki. And she fell for it, because we have this full card before this Lovers talking about falling for that, you know. But then here is this Eight of Wands and this Devil card energy on it, to where, again, she feels like I fell for it, because this man turned out to be just like the man that he thought he was saving me from, but even worse, because he did worse things to me. And see, it's like, in the underlying energy of this, she comes up as this Queen of Swords in reverse. Then there's this Nine of Wands between them and this Emperor. And that to me feels like I held you down and controlled you, and maybe did some other things to you that we can't just outright accuse somebody of doing, because the cards say it. So we'll leave you to make up your own mind on that, but it is a confirmation to certain things that Nicki has put out there, because what it is showing is, you know, this Eight of Cups of her, like, she literally had to walk away. She had no other choice. She couldn't stay any longer. She had to run, because he was doing things that it was like, leave or you're gonna, like, regret it big time. And so, you know, it's like, when he came back to her, she did consider, like, getting back together with him, but she found out that, yeah, see, it's like Three of Wands, Page of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, the Two of Cups in reverse hidden behind the Seven of Wands. She found out that he was still talking to, involved with other women, and that was one of the big reasons why that was, like, sort of her final straw of walking away. And so it's like, when you're coming to me with false heart energy and telling me this bullshit, and then behind it, you're still entertaining other bitches, and that's, like, why we were like, why are you texting other bitches? You know, like, are you texting other bitches, yes or no? Like, Meek was. Just like Rob Kardashian, Meek was, you know? And so Nicki's just like, why would I even mess with your ass? Like, she literally just was like, ugh, like, please leave me alone. Like, you've done enough. And then you had the nerve to come back still doing those things and lying to me and telling me you, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna work it out, but yet you're doing the thing that you're apologizing to me for. Like, what is wrong with you? What does Nicki think about me now? What does Nicki think about me now? I feel like Nicki kind of babied him a lot too in their relationship. And it was just because, like, I feel like he did have a tendency to act like kind of like a spoiled, petulant little boy at times. And be like, baby, calm down. It's okay to be nice, you know? 3, 4, 5, 6. And really, it was just her just being like, oh my God, I need to get in the studio. I have to record later. You're throwing another tantrum. It's like, okay, fine. What do you want, Meek? Okay, yes. Yes, you can go hang out with Jay-Z. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to do something over here, you know? Like, records need to be written, Meek. You know? It's like that kind of stuff. Oh, boy. Well, she's very aware that, you know, like, he just is, like, kind of preying upon her downfall. She knows where, I mean, you know, number one, Onika is very intuitive anyways, but, I mean, she knows Meek better than anybody else, regardless. She just looks at it as, like, literally, like, all these cards are just, like, I walked away from you, and I literally no longer care what you are doing. Seriously, I fucking don't. It's like, please leave me alone. Like, I don't care. And it's like, I don't even care to hear it. Like, stop talking about me. Like, I've moved on with my life. Like, Nicki's energy is literally that she's in this 9 of Cups moment, you know. She's got a husband and a baby. Like, she's way more focused on that. She's looking forward to, what kind of music am I gonna create? You know, I have a documentary coming out. I have a fashion line. I have all these things to look forward to. And it's just like, I don't give a shit about a Meek Mills. Like, Meek Mills needs to stop talking about me. Because I just, like, I've moved on with my life. Like, that's just really what it's talking about. And she honestly feels like with this star card energy at the underlying, you know, energy, the 7 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands, like, Meek should be focused on his own business and his own money. And, like, she literally thinks, like, you're throwing tantrums because shit's not going your own way. She sees right through it. So, let's just ask one more question because this is stretching out far too long. Spirit, what is the source of Meek Mill's weirdo issues right now? Honestly, truly. Because Spirit's saying it's literally the same energy with academics. And academics is really just like Meek's punching bag for all his other shit. So it's like you're giving me an opportunity to have somebody to scream at and get my aggression out at because I'm mad about a lot of things. It's not just I'm mad at academics and the things he says. It's just academics is the punching bag for all my issues. It's literally because Nicki's moved on. Nicki's with somebody else. Nicki's married. Nicki is not fucking with me. It's jealousy. He never dealt with that jealousy, and it boiled up, and now he's at the point where it's like, you're happy and I'm not, and I'm mad. Meek, you really need to go get your ass a spiritual cleanse and get over this woman and leave her alone. And deal with the bitterness and jealousy and issues in your own self. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go cleanse myself of this bitter baby mama energy that is Meek Mill. And I love you all so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book your own personal private reading, all my information is in the description box below. I love you all so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye.